Under surveillance this morning, Trump versus Powell.
Our independence is a matter of law. Fed independence has pretty broad support across both political parties. Generally speaking, Fed independence is very widely understood and supported in Washington, in Congress, where it really matters. People can say whatever they want. That's fine. That's not a problem. But we will do what we do strictly without consideration of political or any other extraneous factors. We're never going to be influenced by any political pressure.
So here's the latest this morning. President Trump with strong remarks for Fed Chair Jay Powell this morning, posting on Truth Social that Powell is too late and wrong, calling on the Fed to cut interest rates. Trump adding that Powell's termination cannot come fast enough. Bloomberg's Tyler Kendall joins us now for the latest. Tyler, what do you make of that one?
Yeah, hey, John. Well, while President Trump has long been critical of Jerome Powell, this does appear to be an escalation. Of course, big interpretation questions, though. Is President Trump pointing to the end of Powell's term as chair in 2026, or is he threatening to fire the Fed chair altogether just one day after Powell said that the central bank would have less flexibility to cushion the economy amid tariff fallout, and also that he thinks market volatility is understandable because there is just so much uncertainty here when it comes to the tariff plans. Now, President Trump has long suggested that his tariff policy would go hand in hand, as he says, with lower interest rates. And we should keep in mind that up to this point, senior administration officials have largely brushed aside President Trump's prior criticism of Jerome Powell, saying that it's just his opinion and that they do respect the Fed's independence. But we'll have to see if we hear any stronger stances from administration officials today, particularly after Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told Amory earlier this week that he thinks monetary policy is a jewel box that needs to be preserved, as he said. So really some big questions going forward. And you had mentioned earlier in the program that Bessent actually was the one that had floated the idea of potentially a shadow Fed chair on the campaign trail. Powell was asked about that back in December, 1 month before Trump took office. And he said that he didn't really think that was an option on the table, and also that he doesn't think President Trump has the legal authority to fire him. John, President Trump previously has said that he would let Powell serve out his term. But of course, big questions here in Washington about the future of independent federal regulators, particularly after last month, 2 FTC commissioners were fired, they say, without cause.